keep talking about how this is an erasure of history. Whose history? Canada's first people were in this area for thousands, not hundreds, thousands of years before Champlain found it. So if you want to talk about erasure of history, you know, putting a monument to Champlain is erasing thousands of years of First Nations history.
Heather, nice to meet you. Your dad and I do not share political values, but I do.
I would ask, why was the white figure prioritized? Why was there a plan for Champlain before there was a plan for the Indigenous gentleman? I think that speaks exactly to the issue that I'm trying to speak to, which is that historic oppression has now transformed into systemic racism. So white is prioritized above everything else. White is the standard, everyone else is the other. The point I'm trying to make is that that isn't the case. We are all the standard. We are all butterflies. Yeah, so that's kind of what's happening is people are gathering, and that's kind of what's going to kick us off. But yeah, thanks for showing up.
In my language, we acknowledge each other. We don't speak of each other in a gender form. Because
this is why I'm here. That little boy, that's why.
It was a way of life. It wasn't just a treaty. It was a treaty in 1701 with the new settlers that were coming in.
I too was torn because I was born and raised in Orillia, and I played on that statue. But back then, we didn't get the history. We didn't get the teachings in the class. I went to Georgian College before I started learning about the true history of residential schools and the actual dark side of Canada's history. So I'm okay if it doesn't come back, because I don't think it represents what the whole Truth and Reconciliation is trying to do for our people. So I did have a suggestion to Parks and Rec last year, just to take him off his pedestal, bring him down with the natives on the same ground. But if it doesn't come back, I'm okay with that too.
And we saw, and we talked about it in our language, about the first great imbalance that took place on this land.
95 years ago today was the biggest single day in Orillia's history. No time did they ever have an audience like they had 95 years ago this date. And that was between 10 and 16,000 people, and the Orillians. And anything to alter the monument is a betrayal of them. And I'm certainly Aboriginal, and I find no offense whatsoever in what's there in the monument. And if somebody considers that something is offensive, then that can go on a separate platform.
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to
The group that is here protesting today and bringing their ideas forward are one range of opinion and the way in which our history is characterized, and I think it's certainly legitimate to hear what they have to say.
It's our problem. It's our land.
That's right, and it's my land. It's our land. My opinion is this should have not been destroyed like this. They had an argument with the monument. They took it down. Orillia lied to us about it. They said they were cleaning it. And then they took it and said they're not putting it up. And then a few days ago, I'm not sure how long, somebody poured red paint all over it. And that's my opinion. I just think this is awful. You want to protest and that, do it on a day like today, where everybody's trying to enjoy themselves? No.